bringing us in on Raised in Wisco, your one-stop shop to learn everything you need to know about Wisconsin's great outdoors. Man, what a week. Once hunting season starts here in Wisconsin, in the Midwest, I'm just like a
Jack
mushy
nonstop.
puddle Jack 24/7. I can't speak correctly. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Raised in Wisco. We are all about the great outdoors of the state of Wisconsin, and Danielle Fairman is sitting at my side as she was a few minutes ago in the goose blind. We're going to get to that in just a minute. My name's Joel Clayfish. Today on the show, we've got Adam Andler, who's part of the Midwest Kayak Bass Club. I apologize if you think you heard that wrong, but you did not. Midwest Kayak Bass Club.
Yeah, that's a
like
thing.
4 different words that should not go together.
No, they should all go together. You know this year has been my year for kayak bass fishing. So this is,
oh my gosh.
we are tuning, we are reeling it back. Haha, I did the first dad joke.
You really reel it in, Danielle.
We're reeling it back
Reel
to bass
it
fishing.
in.
And I know it was just a southern duck opener, which was absolutely fantastic. I got a duck. So
I have not shot. Oh no, I take that back. I got some ducks during the early teal season, but I have not shot a duck during the regular season. And Calvin Butenhoff filling in for our producer, Jess. Now, Calvin, no offense. I mean, you're great. And we used to have you in the past, but we love producer Jess. So we have high expectations for you today. I just want you to know that this show has high expectations for the producer because Jess has really brought it to the next level.
Yeah. Jess is fantastic. I will do my best to live up to the quality that she says.
I'm sure you'll be great. Have you ever kayaked, Calvin?
I have never kayaked.
I was just going to say, who has never kayaked?
Well,
you surprised me, Calvin.
I'm gonna the one experience I had with kayak. I loathe kayaks, right?
Oh yeah, sideways.
I mean, no offense to you, Adam Andler.
Bananas.
Adam
Always.
Andler, who is Adam Sandler without the S. You even kind of look a little like Adam Sandler, if I'm going to be honest.
He's nodding his head, yes.
Well,
is that a common thing?
When Adam Sandler, what movie was it? He had that kind of like shaded in pencil thin mustache going. Adam Andler's got that. I say Adam Andler and I think of Adam Sandler, but I also think of Adam Ant. You know who Adam Ant is?
I did get that when I worked at Ace Hardware. A few of the older employees did actually make
called
that
the Adam
comment
Ant.
too. Yeah,
he was like that song. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you know? What? You know what?
Nope,
Calvin,
I do not know that
producer
song at all.
Calvin, you're gonna have to fire up some Adam Ant. What was that song? Sudden innuendo follow, must be something inside. What song was that? What song was that? You're gonna know it once he plays it.
Probably.
Danielle. Well, so Raised in Wisco, one of the cool things we do on the show is our weekly Wisco, which is our experience in the outdoors of Wisconsin. The problem with when hunting season starts, and now we've got goose, duck, deer, turkey, bear. What are you doing over there?
I'm pointing at my phone.
Can you focus on the show, please? Can you please focus on the show, Danielle?
I have notes in my phone.
Danielle,
I need my
the show happens here, over here. You have notes. We've got, I named all the things that we can hunt in Wisconsin, and fishing is open. Bass fishing, game fishing, muskie.
Yep.
Northern. Now, we're going to talk about kayaks. I call them sideways bananas.
You are so excited about this, Joel.
Well, I have a recurring dream that I get trapped underwater in a kayak. I feel like...
wait, is this a kayak or is this a canoe?
A kayak.
An actual
kayak's
kayak.
the one with the hole in it.
So
Yes.
Canoes. I have my canoeing merit badge. I was a Boy Scout. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I have a canoeing merit badge. I can canoe as good as with the best of them. Kayaking is a whole other animal. And all I remember when I was a kid, and Adam, feel free to chip in here. I want to know, you're the expert. You're the resident expert on kayaking. You have a shirt that says Midwest Kayak Bass Club. So this is huge. Those sideways bananas, man, they scare the heck out of me. Because you get yourself in a hole. Now, I'm going to tell you, folks, there is a reason if you watch my Facebook and anything like that, if you watch the show, you see me like from chest up. And that's because my worst asset is my little ring around the collar of my belt, my muffin top. I mean, yes, it's bought and paid for, but I mean, look, okay, if you're watching Facebook, I have a little Wisconsin belly on me. I do.
All of us do.
I have a
It's all
dad
right.
bod.
We all do.
I have a dad bod.
Dad
and,
bods are in. It's all right.
and so I'm worried that I'm going to get in a kayak and I'm going to squish my middle section, my belly, into the hole. And then the kayak's going to flip and I'm going to be stuck. And it'd be like,
You do.
like, what's that sound? I would have to like pull myself
Like
up.
a suction
Boink.
cup in there.
Like,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
that's the sound. I'm like,
You're making it sound like they have not upgraded the kayak style
I don't know
since
what the
whenever
hell
this
they've done
dream
with the
started.
kayak.
I have not been in a kayak with a hole in the middle since.
What do you
for
mean?
Years.
Kayaks don't have holes in
Agreed.
the middle anymore?
No, they do
They've
not.
come
the hell do they
so
have?
far. It's unbelievable. I mean, like the one I used, it's called the Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 136. It's basically a boat. It
Okay.
has.
God, are you Gen Z?
I
Adam?
am 1995.
So that's right on the
95?
cusp.
Yep,
That's like the cusp of
29.
Gen
88.
Z and millennial, right?
Pretty
Yeah.
close.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's how you describe. You're telling me about a kayak, which is basically a planer
I
board
have
with a
an-
hole in it.
An old
You're like,
town pedal kayak.
It's the generation 2450 super pedal.
It is the
blanching-
greatest thing ever. And now I don't even use an actual paddle. I use
No.
my foot paddles.
I don't
Okay.
even
So it's
use
like a-
that.
Pedal bike.
You
I
don't use
just have the
pedals?
remote. I have the autopilot, so I do it all on the remote, and I can steer the trolling motor and everything.
And they're
it's just like being in the
extremely
boat.
sturdy.
Super sturdy. I stand up the whole time.
Calvin, are you buying any of this, buddy? I mean, for real. Are you buying that you can stand up in a kayak?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't believe it except for the fact that I've seen videos on the internet and it looks pretty slick.
Yeah. Are they camouflage?
They have
Yes.
a bunch of different color patterns. The new one this year is Fire Tiger, actually, like the fishing
Rawr.
lure. So.
Okay. Danielle, please don't ever do that again. I'm not. I'm somewhere between blushing and the hair on my arm standing up from discomfort. I mean, okay. Well, I'm gonna say maybe.
Oh, well, bam. See, here's a pitch. Well, little bit of a
maybe. This
picture.
is radio, Danielle.
I know, I'm gonna
People
show
can't
the
see your
camera.
pictures on radio.
if they
Okay,
can,
it's a
if they
kayak where
watch,
Danielle's pedaling the kayak. So
Yeah.
I want to talk about. Have you been in a kayak this last week? Either one of
Me?
you?
no, not this
No,
last week.
no.
I have not either.
Okay, but so let's do our weekly Wisco. My weekly Wisco was the duck season opener.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm wearing my lanyard with calls on it because my weekly Wisco was actually hunting with Danielle. And I don't know if I should be excited about the fact that I got to hunt with you, Danielle,
Oh.
today, or disappointing because it's the only hunt this year I've gone on where I got skunked.
You were not super positive about this field either. You said.
Well, I didn't.
so
I mean,
feel
it was
maybe
a
you took
traffic
it to
field. So
a bogey field.
So no. Why would I waste my time? I went out there. I set up all the decoys because you
Mhm.
were at work and you had to show up after work. I set up all the decoys,
did.
dragged the stuff out there. I mean, it was hard, hot, sweaty. I wouldn't do that
Nasty
if I didn't
80-degree day.
I did. So Danielle and I, and just to be fair, there's two ways to hunt geese. You can traffic them, and that's go in an area where you think they're trafficking, or that term is meant from like there's traffic of geese around, or you can hunt an X, and the X means that's a place they're going, fairly regularly. So you're hunting an X.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who aren't really into waterfowl hunting, that's kind of the two terms that are used. And Raised in Wisco is nothing if not an educational show. So we want to help you with that. And so I'm out there with Danielle, and all of a sudden we kind of look, and there's two geese coming,
Oh, yes.
and they're coming, and they're like bent over, like they're coming to our
directly at
spread.
us.
Okay.
And here's the
Mhm.
weird part. I get out there and I brought an entire case with me. I walked about a quarter mile with this case, which I thought were silhouettes. Turned out they were socks. A sock decoy, for
Yes.
those who don't know, has a little head on it. And then it's basically like a balloon that the wind is supposed to keep inflated while you're
Mhm.
hunting. Well, I think they're crap, to be honest with you. I don't like them at all, but I just walked a quarter mile with them and didn't have the other decoys. So I set up the sock decoy. So I'm sitting out there in what looks like, I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like there's white and black balloons.
Yes, I could see that.
That's
it looks
kinda what it
exactly
feels
like
like.
white and black
And
balloons.
these two
Sideways,
geese
though.
are coming, and they're coming right toward our spread, and basically see the socks,
Mhm.
the sock decoys, and just beeline away from us. I mean, I thought my calling was all right. And they like look down there like, map, no way. Bleh, that looks
I'm
horrible.
outta here.
What are those balloons? Danger, Will Robinson. All of a sudden they veer over to the side of the field and bang, they're shooting. They're shooting at the other side of the field. Some guy came into the corner of the field and set up. We didn't even realize it. And he's
Then he has
shooting
some silhouettes
like,
over there.
toward us. I mean, to be
Yes.
fair, he was 320 yards away. But as we know, as practiced, hunters and who are very concerned about safety, you do not
Shoot
fire in the direction of
No.
anybody. And BBs and pellets can certainly go 400 yards. Now,
Mhm.
are they going to harm something at that distance? No, they're not. But it was a little taken aback when I heard the gunshots.
Yeah,
did
I
you
was
think?
too.
Absolutely.
I thought they were closer. The
Yeah.
gunshots were absolutely closer, but I'm still disappointed that he missed
I
both
would-
of them too. He
He
missed both,
did miss the geese that were coming in.
and he also picked up afterwards. So
And I'm
maybe
not
he
gonna-
thought
maybe
he thought the socks were real geese.
maybe he thought the
Because
socks
he
were
set
geese.
up afterwards.
I don't know. It was just one of those scenarios where I heard the gunshots and like all of a sudden I was like, holy cow, what's going on here?
Mhm.
Now, the interesting thing is I waved the goose flag.
You did.
So that he would know we were there.
Okay.
Which again, just this is another example of why you have to be so careful when you're out there in the beginning of seasons. People are getting out there. So that's my weekly Wisco. And it was, but I have to say, Danielle, anytime I hunt with you is a great time.
Oh, we were definitely laughing and
We
smiling a
solved
lot.
the
so-
world's problems. I
We
can't wait.
did.
We're going to
We
talk to
did
Adam
see a
Andler.
lot of geese.
We saw a
though.
lot of geese. They just didn't want to come to our field and they hated those socks. Adam Andler is going to talk to us about kayaking and fishing while he's doing it, which is kind of fascinating to me. And then we're going to get into kayaking and hunting. He works for Sherper's Outdoor Adventure Store, which I love too. Special place in my heart. And we got fish tacos
Yes,
for the
we
recipe of the week.
do.
It's going to be awesome.
All I can do to keep from falling in love with you. All I can do to keep from telling you so. I need to tell you how I feel about you, but I'm so afraid that you don't feel the same. But if I don't tell you how I feel about you, I just might lose you. Can I take that chance? And it's all I can do to keep from falling in love with you. All I can do to keep from letting it show. That's all I can do to keep from falling in love with you. All I can do to keep from telling you so. That's all I can do to keep from falling in love with you. All I can do to keep from letting it show. That's all I can do.
What I'm finding here, looking at you, what I see, I'm looking straight through the side. When you're young, to be told, young by someone.
Raised in Wisco on all your Civic media stations throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Don't forget, early voting and absentee ballot voting is available now. Make sure your voice is heard. You hear a lot of different opinions and philosophies on Civic media on your 13 stations throughout Wisconsin. Make sure that you make an informed decision when it comes to your vote. Get involved, get your ballot, and vote. If you like what we're talking about, make sure those you're going to elect believe the same things you do to enjoy the great outdoors of the great state of Wisconsin. I'm Joel Clayfish. That is Danielle Fairman.
Hello.
Adams. Now, see, if you just do a soft S in there, it does sound like Adam Sandler. Adam Andler. Adam Andler not only works for one of the greatest outdoor stores in the Midwest, Sherper's Outdoor Adventure Store, and the Sherper family has been so kind to me for so many years. I have to tell you, Rob Sherper, this is a true story. He must have been like 10 or 11 years old. I lived on Okachi Lake at the time. It's the middle of winter. I see this little figurine walking across the ice.
Yes.
And it knocks on my back door at my house. And he's like, can Mr. Clayfish go fishing? And it was a 10 or 11-year-old Rob Sherper. And my wife's like, Joel, there is a miniature person here asking you to go fishing. And I was like, heck yeah, man. And Rob Sherper and I became friends, fast friends, and we've been friends ever since. And Sherper's Outdoor Adventure Store is your one-stop shop, like this show is, to get everything you need for the great outdoors. Adam Andler is with us. Danielle.
Joel.
So my weekly Wisco was hunting with you today. And it was the
right
only
before the show.
the first hunt I've had since the goose season opened that we got skunked. But we did have some action. We did have some geese.
We saw quite a few
We saw
geese
quite a
flying
few geese.
around.
Well, it's a huge highway. That the north side of Oconomowoc is a huge flyway. Had a great time.
Mhm.
What's your weekly Wisco? What
My
did you do
weekly
this week?
Wisco is duck hunting. I went out
Ooh,
with
that's
Josh.
right.
We were going to
Now, who's Josh? Who's this Josh you speak of?
If you guys have been listening before, Josh is my boyfriend.
Josh
Woo!
is Danielle's boyfriend. Josh is you're robbing the cradle. He's like 10 years younger than you, though, right?
Younger? Sure.
Oh, that's right. He's 10 years older than you.
Yep, it's great. It's fantastic.
So
And
what
I'm
did-
loving every minute of it.
Well, I just love the fact that you've got a friend and partner who you love to go hunting with and share hunting with. That's
And it's
about as good
it's
as
really
it gets.
exciting because he is not much of a waterfowl hunter. He is more of a whitetail and predator hunter. And
Okay.
so we went out there out to public land in the Dousman area, and the spot where we're going was littered with people, just completely littered. You can look out there and you see them standing. So like, well, let's just try a different spot right away. And we went out to a different spot, and there was only one other vehicle there, and they flushed the birds towards us, and we were able to shoot. But this was the first time Josh saw Bandit, my dog, retrieve a duck completely blind. He had no idea where the bird dropped, and he said it was
Wow.
the greatest thing watching
That's
a dog work.
awesome.
He has not hunted with a dog.
That is
So that was his first
fun.
time, and it was all for Bandit for me.
Very
And
cool.
just
I-
getting out there
I
and
think watching
finally
dogs
shooting
work
a duck.
Is just as exciting as actually killing something
And hearing
yourself.
The one thing that gets me with Bandit is his teeth chatter. Every time he hears the gunshot, he's like, he just starts chattering, just shaking nonstop, like he's
'Cause he's so excited.
Yes,
Yep.
it's
People think
such
a lot of
thrill.
times they have the misconception that dogs are nervous when they're shaking or they're uncomfortable. That shaking is actual just excitement,
Mhm.
because people don't realize dogs are hunters. Cats are hunters, dogs are hunters. They are predators in the wild, and that is still in their blood. That is
Mhm.
part of their genetic makeup. And when they get to go do it, they love it. They absolutely love it.
And yep, I haven't hunted with him since last
So
season. So
you've killed a wood duck. You killed a wood duck, and you
I
killed a
have.
couple mallards.
Yep,
Correct?
correct.
Heck
Very
yeah,
nice.
that's
It
awesome.
was a great breakfast.
I have yet to kill a mallard or a wood duck this season. I've really got the number on the geese. I've had the number of the geese this year, though. I've had
Oh yeah,
an
you've been having a
unbelievable
good
season.
goose season.
Adam Andler, do you hunt, Adam?
I do not.
You don't. Well, we're gonna have to get
He
you
has a couple
started in
picture of
hunting.
ducks right here, though.
And I know we're going to get to that too.
And I'm very
Adam's an
excited.
award-winning photographer, in addition to running the Midwest Kayak and Bass Club. What the heck is that about? What's that about? I mean, I can guess it's got to have to do with kayaking and fishing.
So I actually do not run it. I can't take the credit for that. Jacob Ruff, he is the one in charge of it. I'm just along for the ride. And he
I actually met Jacob Rafi at
Yeah?
a gas station in Dousman.
he's a really good guy.
Josh kind of sort of works with him. So Josh was working at Fairhaven and
Josh
Whitewater.
is Danielle's boyfriend, for those of you who are not following. So for all the texts I constantly get asking, is Danielle single? I'm just going to go right out there and say it right now.
I am not
Danielle
single.
is not single.
We moved to the next
anymore.
stage. I'm moving in.
Okay,
Ooh,
I want
moved
to
in.
Now we're talking.
I don't want
Sorry,
to talk
I know
about,
we're not talking about
I
this.
don't
want to
talk
you.
about that topic because
I'm
you
so
and I
happy.
disagree on that one. We
We do.
disagree. That's okay.
Okay,
It's a-
back to the
yeah,
kayak.
let's talk about the Midwest kayaking, the Midwest Kayak Bass Club.
So it's been around for 10 years, actually. I just got on board with it this year. I fished one tournament last year for them. And then this year, Jake, he came to me. he wanted Sherpers to sponsor it. And of course, with working at Sherpers, I came to Nate and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this? If you sponsor it, I will, fish all the events. I will show up. I will be there to help support and run it.
Twist your arm
So
a little
is-
bit,
Yeah,
right? It sounds
exactly.
horrible.
Is this just this tournament? Is you have to do it in a kayak?
Yes.
Yep, you have to do it in a kayak, and it's grown. I mean, it's become huge over
Like,
the
how?
past
What do you mean?
few
Where
years.
does it go? How many people are in it?
Yeah.
It depends. I mean, they're all in Wisconsin. All the tournaments are in the state of Wisconsin. We actually have quite a few members from Illinois. We have a couple guys from Iowa, so it does
You
expand
have
to the
people from
Midwest.
Illinois.
Yep.
Your
they have to
face says
pay
it all, Joel.
Well, I hope they have to pay extra when they come here and fish. Do they have to pay extra?
No.
No,
do
but they are
not.
contributing to the great state of Wisconsin, Travel
That's true.
Wisconsin, and
Yep.
our tourism industry. So that's good. I say it in jest. If the Packers are out of it, I actually root for the Bears, the oldest
Okay.
two teams in football. So this is how many people belong to the Midwest Kayak Bass Club?
So usually for each tournament, I mean, this past year was great. We averaged about 50 a tournament.
Holy
Wow.
cow!
So
Mhm.
I'm part of the catch and release bass club, but which is out of just boats.
Okay.
There's usually only about 20 boats, and we go to I'm gonna say like 15 different lakes a season.
Gotcha.
Is that the same for kayak fishing?
So we had 6 events last year, and it's going to grow up to probably 7 this year.
Nice.
So-
Wow, that sounds awesome. Well, I'm interested to hear about that, and I want to hear. You got to. Adam Andler's going to tell us about these award-winning photographs he's taken, and I want to hear more about this kayak. I'm actually getting interested in if I can run a kayak with a remote control. I-
Just sit
do I-
there and go.
Do I actually have to be in the kayak?
Actually, no,
No.
technically not.
I could. Is there a way to fish from shore while the kayak just goes out and do it? Well,
I mean,
we'll
you could
discuss
troll.
that.
I guess you could troll
That's going to
like
be
that. Can you do
exciting.
that?
And I can't wait to talk about our recipe on Raised in Wisco.
Let's go.
You look at me that way. I know what your eyes say. Your eyes reflect love.
Raised in Wisco, your one-stop shop in the great state of Wisconsin on all your Civic media stations Saturdays at 11 o'clock. I'm Joel Clayfish. That is Danielle Fairman. Adam Andler is here with us from the Midwest Kayak Bass Club. This show is so fascinating to me because I love Wisconsin. I love the great outdoors.
You do.
And we have all of these wackadoos. I mean,
Wackadoos.
all of these awesome people who come in and explain things. When you are as involved in the outdoors as we are, Danielle, you think you've heard it all, and you absolutely have
Oh,
not.
I have not.
You have not heard it all. And now today, I'm taking a step forward. I'm coming out today and saying that I may consider stepping foot in a kayak.
Oh,
All
really?
right. Do
I really
Calvin?
think you need to.
Calvin, I may need some moron support to do this. Calvin, I'm thinking of actually kayaking. Is that something you think that maybe you'd try? And I have to say, we have all I'm going to say is Jess, our producer, our beloved producer who we love, who has the week off this week. She is going to try turkey hunting with us this year. So I think maybe the thing that you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, so I'm going to
Yes,
ask
he
you
does.
on the
Putting you
radio
on the
with
spot,
thousands
Calvin.
of people listening. Would you be willing to try getting in a kayak? Would you do that with us? Because I'm going to.
Yeah, I would try it 100%. 2 summers ago, my dad and I had a boat, and did some fishing, so I got some poles
Aw.
sitting in the garage.
Heck
just
yes,
slung up.
Calvin.
Awesome. Yeah,
Sweet.
Calvin. Calvin's going to try Midwest Kayak. That's a mouthful. Midwest Kayak Bass Club.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin is going to try it. I'm going to try it. We're going to report to you guys. We've got a lot of really exciting firsts that we're working on right now. I've got the air gun, the air shotgun that we're
I
going to
have
try
no
killing
new
a
first.
turkey
What's
with.
my new first?
What do you mean? What's your new first? You're the one who did noodling and
That
kayaking.
was years
You've
ago.
done tons of firsts before me, Daniel. I don't know. Find a first, I guess. What are you yelling at me about? The world's your oyster, Danielle.
It is. It is. I think my new first is going to be buying a camera.
Okay.
Because Adam has inspired me because I was creeping him on Facebook. I asked him, I see you work
Now,
at
that's
Sherpers.
the term the kids use. I just want to be
Creeping?
clear. Creeping someone on Facebook
It is not
my
a bad
generation.
thing.
If you use the word creep, creepy, or creeping, there's not many things you can say worse about somebody than they're creepy, they're creeping, they're a creep, and then you guys use this term like it's just
Just a regular word.
conversation.
Yes.
Calvin, you're a Gen Zer, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
if someone says I was creeping your Facebook, does that mean they're creepy or they're doing something creepy?
Well, I mean, I guess it's sort of creepy, but I guess if you don't have any, like, it seems like Adam had some great wildlife pictures. So if in that case, I don't think it's creepy.
Okay, well,
Okay,
how it
because
all
Danielle, I
started
don't
was
think Danielle can be. I don't think Danielle is capable of creepiness
no.
under any circumstance.
Not
So
one
when she
bit.
says I'm, but I have to be careful because a lot of these words you hear them, and then my generation doesn't exactly know what they mean. So like I will use a word, and my daughters will look at me like, "Dad, don't ever say that again," because that is not what it means.
No.
So, I started using chuggy all over the place. I want to be clear. Why are you laughing, Calvin? Calvin, why are you laughing?
It's just very specific.
What does chuggy mean? Chuggy means like gross or bad, right?
I guess
Uncomfortable,
So yeah,
weird.
it's one of those words that I don't actually know like an actual definition.
Look up
Sure.
Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary, this baby.
And then skibbity, that's another one that the kids are
Skibbity-doo,
using.
That one's like the young kids. That's like
young
middle
kids.
schoolers these days.
Sus, that's another one.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Adam.
Chuggy is defined as the opposite of trendy.
Oh, so like out of fashion, out of touch,
Yes.
not in vogue.
That's chuggy.
That was a term we used in the 90s. That's so
Okay.
in vogue.
So back to his Facebook profile.
Yeah, so you're creeping on.
I don't know the word to use.
Creeping.
That's so creepy.
So his profile picture is an ice fishing picture, correct? In
Yep.
your clam ice fishing team.
Yep.
So that's another thing he is part of. So he is a big ice fisherman, which I know you want to get out there so bad
I love
right now,
ice
Joe.
fishing. I love it because it's cold and not hot.
Coming
Correct.
soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Mhm.
Not too soon. Let's not get it here
Let's
too
pump the brakes.
soon. Pump the brakes. Adam, you got a great personality. You're kind of a radio dude.
I actually, one of my dreams when I was very young was to be a radio DJ. I've always thought I've had a
really?
good voice for it. Like people would hear it
You
and
do have a
instantly
distinctive
recognize
voice.
that it's me.
Okay, Danielle, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Adam's just chiming in here, and he's pretty funny.
And
So.
it's always great when guests
He
chime in.
was singing.
So please just completely chime in.
Chuggy-duggy-doo.
Oh my God.
I'm going fishing. Chuggy-duggy-doo. What
The
were the
pictures.
seasons?
These pictures that you have, I was looking and it says that you were at the Walworth County Fair. It was your first entry of Walworth County
Yep.
Fair for multiple different divisions, correct?
That is correct.
So
yep.
why did you start doing that, and why did you go to I would not think fair when I started taking pictures.
Mhm.
Not fair. Why fair? Where
So-
did that come from?
My girlfriend Beth, she actually lives near Delavan, or grew up near Delavan, I should say. She lives in Milwaukee now. But her family is from Delavan, and they love the Walworth County Fair. They've been going for years, and I went with her last year, and I went into one of the big buildings, and they just had hundreds of these photos, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I was thinking to myself, like, wow, I could really do well here. You know, seeing some of the quality of the photos. I mean, obviously there were some great entries and everything, but I thought to myself, like, wow, this would be a great opportunity to see if I actually am talented and could win potentially. So I thought I would try it this year, and lo and behold, I did.
See, my struggle with is I love taking pictures as well, but as you and I were talking before the show, I like taking pictures on my phone because phones have great quality pictures.
Yep.
And you can zoom. We were Joel Clayfish and I were zooming, figuring out who was hunting in the corner and where they were setting up. And my phone zoomed in a lot farther than his. Difference between Android and iPhones. But then, like the pictures we were taking of the sunset, Joel got some gorgeous pictures of the sunset.
Okay.
But then you relay that to a camera. How did you trigger? I was gonna say, how did you chuggy it? How did you figure out what camera to purchase?
So
'Cause this is
actually,
brand new to you, right?
yeah, this is totally new. It was actually a present to myself this past year for my birthday. I've always wanted one, and like I said to you earlier, the quality on the phone just never could do it justice, and I wanted that crispness and to be able to get a really nice shot. And it actually started this winter with the bad ice season. I actually horrible ice
Went out
season.
twice.
Yeah, it was rough for a lot of us, but I started taking up the photography, going downtown Milwaukee to the McKinley Marina and seeing all the waterfall down there, and became like super interested in all the different birds, the golden eyes and the mergansers and everything that was down there. And I was trying to get as close as I could, like sneaking in the grass to get as close as I possibly could with my phone to get these pictures. And it just never did it justice. So I'm like, you know what, this year I'm going to buy a camera. And I went to Arts on 76th Street and I bought a used Nikon, and I've been in love with it ever since.
You still have the same one?
Yep.
And the Nikon's the one you took all these award-winning pictures with.
Yes.
And this is you have blue winged teals.
Yep.
And that was
the big winner.
That was the big winner. You had different categories. It was, I don't remember what I creeped on your profile about, but
I actually submitted 10 photos, but I really wanted to do the birds and the wild animals. Those were the two I had by far the most pictures of, but you're only allowed one entry. So it was very hard to limit it down because I have so many different birds, from eagles to turkeys to all the different ducks, geese, sandhill cranes, blue herons. I mean, anything and everything. I got it already this first year. And I mean, we can only go up from here, but for the first year ever doing this, I was very impressed.
Yeah, I think what this shows, and this show shows, I mean, I think we have the opportunity here on Raised in Wisco. We're broadcast throughout the state on 13 stations on your Civic media stations throughout Wisconsin. We have the opportunity to take somebody who's not really into the outdoors and show them that the sky is the limit. And here's another example. I can't even, in my brain's giant and it's all over the joint, and I can't even fathom all of the different things you can do outside in Wisconsin. And for me, I love hunting, fishing, I love camping, cooking, but I never thought of like sitting with a camera and trying to capture just these award-winning, stunningly beautiful photos. And here's a guy who's won a contest and he's a guest on the show.
First time he was ever entered.
And if we do anything on the show, we want to give you as listeners an idea of something that might sound fantastic to you to get out into the outdoors and do. And what a cool thing. I mean, you're relatively new to this, Adam.
Seriously. I mean, it's only been a couple months doing it.
And what a beautiful picture, and so sharp those photographs are. So if you're maybe not the biggest outdoor enthusiast and you have a camera and you've taken some beautiful pictures, give yourself a shot. Get out there and do this, because these photos are just absolutely glorious. I mean, that snake, he's got a snake photo. And I have an odd relationship with snakes.
Do you? Oh boy.
I do. Well,
I said odd.
Well, I've been a snake owner. I've been a snake owner for about 15 years in my life. A lot of people don't know this. I don't currently own a snake, but I've owned snakes. It started in college when my fraternity brothers bought me a snake and named it Brahmin. And, which is odd because I ate a lot of ramen
That's
in college.
exactly what I thought of.
The snake's name wasn't ramen. It was Brahmin. It was a ball python. And I had snakes since then. And I actually, when Becky and I first got married, we had a snake in our house.
I used to have a snake too.
Yeah.
It was,
Did you? What kind?
It was a 6-foot red-tailed boa.
Red-tailed boa constrictor.
Yes.
Those are they're picky eaters, aren't they?
I never fed it. I was a teenager.
So
I
you
would
starve-
hold it.
Did it starve to
Well,
death?
I was living with my parents, of
Oh,
course.
your parents fed it. Okay.
Yes.
To be clear, Danielle didn't buy a snake and then just not
let
feed
it sit there. No, I never fed it because I always felt bad because you could hear the animal, the whole process. And but I would always hold it and walk around with it. So
Yeah, no, that
was
is
my-
cool. That is neat. So Adam's got these photographs. So my question to you, Adam, is when you're out there in the outdoors, you're taking a lot of these photographs that I'm seeing you take are photographs of wild animals. Oh gosh, look at that beautiful redhead. That's unbelievable. Or is that a bluebill?
Redhead.
It's a
Yep.
redhead. Yeah. That's a beautiful, beautiful picture of a duck. Now, here's my question. Every picture you've shown me, with the exception of the gosling and the snake, I guess, these are game animals to hunt, waterfowl.
Yep.
Has this shooting with a camera gotten you to think maybe I ought to try hunting? Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
My
Wow.
good friend PJ actually is a huge waterfowl hunter, and obviously Rob as well. But them two kind of fueled the fire to specifically shoot waterfowl because they always were talking to me about it. And honestly, for most of my life, I just assumed a duck was a duck. And until I saw them through the camera, you had no idea how many different kinds there are.
It
It's truly
blows my
amazing.
mind. That is such a great point to make. Everybody around the state who's not interested in waterfowl at all, or not interested in shooting photos or hunting waterfowl, thinks of a duck as a mallard, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, mallards. Yeah, I've seen mallards. I see mallards. There are the most glorious. We get all the ducks here in Wisconsin, almost all of them we get here in Wisconsin. We've got mallards, which are the green-headed ones that
Mhm.
people think of when they think of a duck.
Yep.
We've got buffleheads, mergansers,
Pintails.
teal, pintails, widgeon. We even get the sea ducks here, the scoters,
Oh, yeah.
the longtails,
The old squaws.
old squaw, canvasbacks. I mean,
Gorgeous.
and if you see these ducks up close, it will blow your mind. The colors,
Buffleheads?
buffleheads, wood
Oh.
ducks are absolutely glorious. Buffleheads are gorgeous. He's got a picture of a bufflehead in there.
There's
It's
a
just beautiful.
bluebill.
He has
Look at that.
nonstop photos over and over.
Oh my gosh, they're absolutely beautiful. And fish tacos. I'm so hungry, Danielle.
Me too.
What is wrong with me? Food is my favorite dish. I can't wait to talk about fish tacos. Adam Andler's going to wrap us up too on how to get involved with the Midwest Kayak Bass Club.
All right.
This is Raised in Wisco.
Baby, I'm burning. 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 Out of control. Baby, I'm burning. Body and soul. All of the Wisco. Flaming desire.
On Raised in
we
Wisco.
absolutely should.
That'd be wonderful. I mean, she's kind of like an idol of my daughter Ella Rose. She sings Dolly Parton songs all the time. Folks, thank you so much for joining us on Raised in Wisco. You can hear us on all your civic media stations throughout Wisconsin, 13 of them, Saturdays at 11 a.m. I'm Joel Clayfish. That's Danielle Fairman next to me. Adam Andler from the Midwest Kayak and Bass Club are here. Our job is to be your tour guide
Ooh.
through the outdoors of Wisconsin. Our job is to find that niche that's going to interest you in becoming a part of Wisconsin's greatest asset, the outdoors. You know, we've got a fantastic tourism industry here in Wisconsin. We love to share it. I know one thing that Danielle and I share in common is that we burst at the seams. We get so excited to get new people involved in the outdoors of Wisconsin. And the reason
Absolutely.
we get so excited about that is we want them to experience the joy we get when we go into the outdoors and take what we get in the outdoors, whether it's foraged mushrooms, asparagus on the side of the road, sumac to make sumac tea, wild animals, the most organic type of eating you can have, fishing, you know, whatever you take from the field to the table at the end of the day is, you know, sustenance. And we can get our sustenance in Wisconsin literally from the outdoors all months of the year, which is
Seriously.
so exciting. I want to talk about, you know, Adam Andler from the Midwest Kayak and Bass Club. Before we get to our recipe, how do you get involved if you want to take your sideways banana and raise it to the next level and enter bass fishing tournaments? How do you do it?
The Midwest Kayak Bass Club has a Facebook page, and you can contact Jacob Ruff as well to get involved. All the tournaments are virtual, so all you need is a phone. You take a picture of the fish on the bump board, you submit it to an app called TourneyX. The fish goes right back in the water. There's no lugging them around in the live well. It's so much better for the fish. They get to go right back.
It takes a little faith in humanity, though. It takes a little trust to do that,
It does.
doesn't it?
And
Yes.
and for everyone listening that do not know what a bump board is I'm gonna say like a 3-foot long ruler with it's bent up, so you put the nose of the fish right to the front of the bump where it comes out, and then you measure it from that way.
Yep.
And you have to have certain types of one for these clubs, correct? The
Yeah.
one that they provide it for you? Or do you have to go out and buy it?
Usually you just need one from the brand Catch products. That's the one that you have to use for these tournaments.
Because that's the certified bump board.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
they're fairly cheap. I mean, $30-$40.
It's
And
worth
let
it,
me
though.
guess, I bet you can get them at Sherpers.
You certainly can.
Adam Adler works at Sherpers. Little shameless plug on his part there. That's all right.
What I was thinking about where I bought my kayak was from Sherpers because they had a kayak day where you can go out there and test all of the kayaks, Joe Clayfish. So you can go
Yep.
out there and do that.
The demo
Ah.
days.
Demo days.
Yeah.
In a kayak.
Not demolition days,
I
demo
actually
days.
demonstration,
Yeah.
not demolition.
Yep.
I have to tell you, I will have to get over the little bit of fear that I have over the recurring dream of being suction cup stuck inside of a kayak.
That's such a weird
Because I'm not
dream.
afraid to swim. I'm a good swimmer. I was a lifeguard at Horeb Pool in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Oh, I used to swim in horror.
I was a lifeguard there probably when you were swimming there, Danielle. I mean, you're much younger than me, but you may have been swimming as a little kid. That I may have given you.
Falling off the diving board. That was
Yes.
me
Well, I had
because I could not do it.
I had 2 rescues in my career at Horeb Pool, and they were both from kids who went off the diving board and couldn't swim after they do it. I think they can stand in the
Yeah.
water.
I've been rescued once, and that was when I was in the Virgin Islands on St. Thomas, and the current just took me out. And I actually,
What?
I can't swim
Why on earth would you be in the ocean if you cannot swim?
because I
Why do you
thought I
go
was
kayaking if you can't swim?
Because if you live with your fears, you got to overcome them. If you
Okay,
keep doing that,
overcoming fears is one thing, but you don't do something you can't. That's like, oh, I'm going to overcome my fears and pilot a plane. I don't know how, but I'm overcoming a fear.
we're
I'm
gonna
going
do
to
it.
pilot a plane. Let's
it is
just do it, baby.
walking past.
Calvin's grabbing his head.
I
Why-
may have been a
Why are
little
you
drunk,
Calvin?
but
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm all
this
for-
is
I'm all for tackling your fears, but you think you'd learn how to swim before
Okay,
you
and then
tackle
tackle
them?
the
you-
fear of swimming.
you can float out there, and it's very easy to float out there. So
Well,
I was
obviously
like,
not
I was
easy enough if you
floating.
had to be saved.
I was floating, and then next thing I know, I turned around and I'm very far away,
Just like
and
a
I'm just
bobber.
like, "Hello, I
no
need
way.
help."
Goodness.
And some people from Sapphire Beach Bar came out.
Were you scared?
I mean, for a little bit, but
Danielle.
hey, it happened. Look, I am alive. It's
this is
totally
also,
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You young kids, you don't know. Yeah, oh gosh, you take risks. I'm not saying don't take risks in life. I alligator hunt. Okay, obviously I take risks, but take measured risks. I guess.
Hey, That happens.
Let's not do that again without a life jacket on, okay, Danielle? If
I
you
did it
can't
again. I
swim.
swam back. I had people
Well,
around
then you
me.
can swim.
Well, ish. I swam for like
Okay, when
I
it comes
swam
to
for like
things
3
like
seconds
swimming,
and then I stopped and I swam again.
parachuting, flying a plane, there should be no ish next to it. It should, oh, goodness sakes. What tell me about these fish tacos. We
These
got to get
fish
to the food
tacos?
because I need to hear about the food because
So
that's
these
what our show
fish
is about.
tacos, I made when I actually went bass fishing, and I tried bass for not really my first time, but first time for making it for myself.
Okay.
So the key was the sauce. So for the sauce, you would mix together mayo, sour cream, lime juice,
Ooh.
sriracha,
Okay. I'm with you
garlic
so far.
powder,
Excellent.
smoked paprika,
Mm.
and salt. Mix it all
I
together.
love to smoke paprika. It's just really hard to light. There's
Oh
my
God.
dad joke for the week, Calvin.
That was a
I
nice
wish
one.
Calvin's mic was on the whole time because we could hear him laughing in there. He does laugh at my jokes, which I appreciate.
He does. And now for the
Well, that make it
fish
quick.
batter, you could do the beer batter or just put it in the oven for baked.
That
Whatever.
sounds amazing.
We'll use that.
Love that sauce. Adam Andler, Midwest Kayak and Bass Club. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. If you want to try it, I would encourage you to do so. I would not encourage you to do what Danielle did and go swimming if you don't know how to swim.
You have to keep trying.
We love you listening on all your Civic media stations throughout Wisconsin. This is Raised in Wisco, Saturdays at 11 a.m. I'm Joel Clayfish. That's Danielle Fairman. See you.